Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, Ridwanullah Maximizers family. Welcome back to another episode of Ridwanullah TV show. Your source. I'm getting out of line a little bit. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Welcome to another episode of Ridwanullah TV show. I'm your host and maximizer, Hussein Mohamud, working to help you completely maximize your life in this dunya and in the akhirah by the grace, will, and for the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And verily all praise and thanks are due to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, our creator, owner, and sustainer. And may the peace and blessing, our creator, owner, and sustainer, the one who's worthy of all worship without any intermediaries or intercessors. And may the peace and blessings of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala be upon the most esteemed leader and most honorable teacher, Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam, his family, his companions, and those who follow him until the day of judgment. Allahumma ameen. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. In today's episode, we're continuing the Ramadan series. There's mainly four, give or take whatever else that comes after that or before it. Primarily, there's four series within the 45-week year. And in today's episode is primarily going to be focused on setting your schedule, setting and getting used to your Ramadan schedule and your other schedules as well, bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. So setting and getting used to your Ramadan schedule as well as your other schedules plus more is the topic, bi-idhnillahi ta'ala, and is very, very important. Once again, setting and getting used to your Ramadan and other schedules plus more, bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. So that's what the topic will be for today, bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. And I'm really, really excited to be able to share that with you and go through it with you step by step. You know what I mean? Talk about the importance of setting a schedule, whether you're just doing it mentally, which is a little bit more taxing than it needs to be, or when you're doing it on a particular planner with the schedule and everything else that you could possibly have imagined to be able to execute and take your life to that next level, bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. So with that being said, there's a lot of insights that I'm looking forward to gain myself through teaching you what I know and what I've learned and what I've heard and what I've implemented and what has worked for me, what hasn't worked for me, in hopes that I get in that mindset of dominating my Ramadan, to not let Ramadan dominate me and wishing and hoping why and all this regret. I don't want to leave Ramadan with regret. I hope that you watched the previous episode about planning and preparing and the excitement. A lot of that sadly concludes with regret for most of us. So I want to share with you just the importance of scheduling, how to schedule, when to schedule, how, all these different elements that we're going to be talking about, bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. So with that being said, talking about the default sponsor. So sponsorships, announcements, and updates. In terms of our default sponsor, Ridwanullah organization is our default sponsor for right now until we choose another sponsor based on the different inquiries that is coming in. There's different levels of sponsorship. There's the general sponsorship, and there's the marketer and advertiser, and then okay, let's just put it like this. There's the marketer and advertiser, and then there's the general sponsorship. So if you are someone who's marketing and selling or advertising something, that's a different reality where you'll send your budget and your request budget and details to Ridwanullah organization at gmail.com, and we'll be able to pick from that and see which one is aligned to help people completely maximize their lives within the boundaries, rules, and regulations of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Those are the businesses and sponsors that I'm looking for bi'idhnillahi ta'ala, that we are looking for. If you don't fit that category, still shoot us an email, and then we'll look at these opportunities as they come, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. So, getting back to our default sponsor, Ridwanullah organization, Jazakallahu khair to Ridwanullah organization for sponsoring this episode. And just to let you know again, Ridwanullah organization is an Islamic personal professional development organization that is designed to help you completely maximize your life within the boundaries, rules, and regulations of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in this dunya and in the akhirah by the grace, will, and for the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And the first thing is obviously the Ridwanullah TV and media, where there's going to be a lot of different contents like the Ridwanullah TV show, the Ridwanullah TV vlogs, the Ridwanullah TV monthly goals reports, and the Ridwanullah Q&A. Those are the primary ones. Maybe we're going to add Ridwanullah Talk, just kind of sharing with you some of the speaking engagements that I'm doing in the team of speakers, authors and speakers that I'll be building, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. That's going to be primarily the focus, bi'idhnillah. So that's and the media part of it, that's what it is. And then authoring and speaking, as well as teaching and training, coaching and consulting, community service and foundation work, and also the Ridwanullah quarterly retreats. Is going to be a part of the equation that's boiling and brewing in the background, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala, as well as the Ridwanullah annual conference and the Ridwanullah ideas, where we're going to be exploring different ideas. So the Ridwanullah organization is made up of Ridwanullah TV and media, Ridwanullah author and speaking, Ridwanullah teaching and training like university style, Ridwanullah coaching and consulting, Ridwanullah Foundation, which is the community service, Ridwanullah retreats, as well as Ridwanullah conference and Ridwanullah ideas. So if I'm not mistaken, that's 8. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. So that's what it's mainly built off of, and I'm just going to keep reminding myself and everybody else until we, establish a lot of these things. And right now my primary focus is on the Ridwanullah TV and media, and then start doing, in the process of writing my first book on helping people completely maximize their lives within the boundaries, rules, and regulations of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in this dunya and in the akhirah by the grace, will, and for the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So that'll be a part. So Jazakallah khair to the sponsors for today's episode. In terms of announcements and updates, so just one second, let me get a sip. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. So in terms of the announcements and updates, I was thinking, you guys have probably seen in the previous ones, I was thinking about which area of my endeavors should I focus on. Is it more of the Ridwanullah TV and media, which is by default? Then the other options that I've had was the book and speaking engagements, or teaching and training, or coaching and consulting, obviously the community service, as well as the Ridwanullah retreats, the conference, or the other ideas that I'm going to be exploring, and just kind of thinking through things and kind of realizing some things that I've realized through the process. What I'm going to be focused on, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala, is writing my first book and doing as many speaking engagements as possible. And I'm thinking about doing something very, very special for those businesses and organizations that invite me to speak bi'idhnillahi ta'ala at their events, or if they would like me to do some sort of training or teaching and training, I'll be able to do that. So that's the area that I'll be focused on moving forward. So stay tuned for the book. I'm not sure if it's going to be a couple of months or maybe a year or so. I don't want to rush it, but at the same time, I don't want to take too long to be able to release, you know what I mean, something that's very, very precious and valuable to me. And the book is called Completely Maximize Your Life, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. So with that being said, anybody who would like to be a part of, you know what I mean, those individuals who will be proofreading the book, send me an email at ridwanullahorganization@gmail.com. Or if you have an event, or if you would like me to do some sort of teaching and training and seminar style or whatever that you need and want, send that budget detail, request detail and budget and detail to Ridwanullahorganization@gmail.com. Bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. I would love to spread the message of completely maximizing your life with your business, businesses and organizations. Bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. And you know, obviously, I still have a couple of slots left. Even though this is my primary focus, you know, I still try to do as much teaching and training as I possibly can. If you would like for me to coach and consult you directly or within a group setting, please feel free to let me know as well. And the other things that are coming up, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. So those are the main announcements and updates, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. And just pray for the well-being of the individuals within our ummah and world, fi dunya wal akhirah. You know, we're headed towards testing and trying times, and you know, personally and professionally, I'm trying to align my work with my life's vision, purpose, and mission. Right? I don't want to work 40 to 50 hours a week doing something else that's not aligned with my complete dream, vision, purpose, and mission in life. And then figure out some time to kind of do extra stuff. I'm trying to make money as a means to an end, to be able to support, to be able to build the Ridwanullah TV and organization, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala, to whatever capacity that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is destined for it, and that we can push towards it as well. So you know what I mean, keep pushing hard, keep working, keep doing what needs to be done in order for us to be able to take our lives to the next level, fi dunya wal akhirah, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. With that being said, diving into getting back to the topic. Whew, man, I'm just so passionate about this. Sometimes, like, it's draining. My energy is so low, and I think a lot of it has to do with my nutrition, my diet, but part of it is also you know, I'm going all in and all out. Like, I could feel it in my body, and I hope that you can too. And sometimes I'm like, maybe I'm just going too hard, but hey man, there's no such thing as going too hard, baby, when you only got a certain level of life to live. You hear me? If anybody don't know, I love accents. Like the Jamaican accent, yes, I love that. The British accent, maybe I'm mixing it up with Jamaican. What was it? I watch Freshly Grounded. Shout out to Freshly Grounded. Support that channel. I really like Faisal and Sam and the team, and I hope we can meet one day, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala, and kind of interview each other. I don't think I've ever been interviewed. That's weird to say. I think I probably interviewed about 10 people by now, at least 10 people. So, you know, it's important for me to continue to deliver that within the capacity that we possibly can, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. So, with that being said, I'm just, you know, going to take some breaks as I possibly whenever is needed. Maybe I just need to, some days just like relax and chill. Other days I could be on fire. The way I have things set up right now, I'm recording these on Sundays. So what I've realized is, you know, when you come back from a big event, either as a planner or someone who's attended and you're just exhausted and you could sleep literally for days, that's pretty much how I feel on a weekly basis. That's why I'm focusing on my nutrition, my exercise, and sleeping and grooming a lot more, my health and fitness, so I can actually, have the sustainable energy to keep doing this even on a higher level, bi-idhnillahi ta'ala, especially when I have a lot of speaking engagements and that are coming up, as well as teaching, like seminars and other teachings and trainings coming up. So what was I saying? Yeah, I just need to take it easy. Let me give my little couple of sips here and there. Whew, all right. What were we going to talk about today? Man, alhamdulillah. So, setting and getting used to your Ramadan schedule as well as your other schedules plus more. So that's what we're going to be talking about today, bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. And just to kind of let you know, scheduling is one of the most important things in productivity, right? If something is not scheduled, it's never done, right? Whether you're scheduling it in your mind, which you only have a certain capacity in your mind, in your short-term memory to be able to remember certain things, to be able to execute on. But if you're doing it on a planner, and by the way, we're coming up, we're creating Ridwanullah planner where you'll have your monthly, weekly, daily planners and schedules within that, bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. So I'm passionate about this because I'm aligning it with my business endeavors as well. Not only is it a beneficial topic to talk about, these are products and services that I'm developing through Ridwanullah organization as well, bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. So keep an eye out for that. It's going to be extremely helpful, bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. So scheduling things in your life, basically let's talk about what is a schedule, and not connecting it to Ramadan, and then we're going to connect it to Ramadan as we speak about it, bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. So as I said, scheduling, if you're not scheduling stuff, it's one of those things where something that's not scheduled it never gets done. It always gets stuck in your mind, and all the time you're just thinking. And you're not progressing and moving forward with your life and everything else that is going on within that capacity. So what is a schedule, right? A schedule, to simply put it in my own definition and terms, is basically a complete concept of a timetable of your days and weeks, right? So 7 days, generally that's really what it is. Anything else after that is a part of a planner. So a specific schedule is usually a week. You could do it in chunks of weeks. You could do it over a month, depending on what your needs and wants are. For me right now, everything is changing so fast that I have to do it on a weekly basis, that I schedule things on a weekly basis. And I'm mainly scheduling and chunking my time mentally, and just writing it down briefly, but physically chunking. I had a schedule, weekly schedule plan, weekly scheduler that I was using, but I just didn't have the capacity or time to print it out and do all that stuff that I was doing previously. And that's why I'm actually creating the planner. If you cannot afford a professional planner, then obviously do what you need to do to be able to do that. But it's not, for me, it's not even a matter of being able to afford it. I just don't have the capacity and the time right now to do that for maybe it is a part of affording it too, but I just don't want to, I feel like I'm probably wasting money, but maybe it's not wasting money, it's investing money. To be able to stay on schedule. So that's really what a schedule is. Actually, I think I might have one here. Let me show you if I can show you. So these ones are the ones that I've actually used in the past. Ooh, okay. So this is generally what a schedule looks like. Obviously, this is pretty much not complete, but you can kind of generally see, I don't know if you can see the details of it. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, 24/7. So every hour for me is accounted for. So I don't count out sleep. So I block out sleep time right here, as you guys can see. And every single hour, minute, second is accounted for in my week. So that's generally what a schedule is just being aware of your time management, being aware of where you need to be, when you need to be there, how you need to be there, how long you have to be able to be at that specific location. So that's generally what in the world a schedule really is. And you can see some of the high-level executives, they actually have someone that is controlling their schedule and time, right? Their time and schedule and timing. So they'll have, certain things scheduled out and then certain times, and sometimes they'll have to adjust it based on what happened, what transpired throughout the day, or potentially weeks and so forth and so on. So you can see the amazing thing about this digital age, and it's not even the digital age. What is it? Yeah, it is the digital. So information age, digital age. I don't know which age we're in. The internet age? I think that's digital. My terminologies are completely off, but okay. So what did I hear? The digital age, the information age, the content age, video age. That's kind of what it is. Like everybody's just producing so much content. Yeah, I think that's what it is. So this is like the mid-wave or beginning of the the beginning of the early adopters. There's the early adopters and the main adopters, I think. So they are the ones who are taking advantage of this opportunities, and I completely lost my train of thought, so I'm just going to get some water. Alhamdulillah. I'll pick it up where I think I left off. Bismillah. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Sometimes you just get to a specific topic and you don't know how you got there, what was the connecting point, and that's exactly where I find myself at right now. And I'm not going to be ashamed of it as reality. But to kind of go back to the topic, scheduling, right? It's your 24/7 basically, and you could do as many of those as you want specifically. And I've seen, obviously within a week is the standard. I've seen businesses and organizations schedule out months. I've seen businesses and organizations schedule out probably years, right? But that's not, there's different levels of scheduling. That's more of the planning, like that's what we're gonna do in that time. But a schedule is, okay, between this time and this time on this day, Monday through, this is what I'm doing, here what I'm doing. So I think you can only do it for a week, honestly, and you can kind of keep a general sense of it. So we'll just cap it off as a week, and the planning and preparing, you could do that. I think some businesses actually schedule you in a couple of weeks in advance. I've never seen more than like a month or so in advance. Anyway, that's generally what that is. So why is it important to schedule? And I've alluded to this in the beginning. So scheduling, a lot of people don't take this seriously, including myself, and I'm becoming better at scheduling mentally. But I need to be able to, you know what I mean, reduce the usage of my mental capacity just holding information and leave that space for my creativity, my spontaneity, my energy, planning and preparing, and anything else that is going along with that. I shouldn't keep things in my mind. That's why I write a lot. That's what writing has been one of the God-given gifts from me, from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to me. And I think I've been falling in love with writing since 2013. Before that, I hated it. So I hated writing. Actually, it was actually beginning of 2012. Maybe even more than that, but that's the time that I remember. But anyway, point being, before I lose track again. Okay. We really have to schedule our time. We don't take it seriously enough. We have to take it out of our mind and put it down on paper. And I keep doing that over and over again. And I'll tell you some of the mistakes that I've made on how to schedule things. and some of the most important lessons that I've learned in scheduling, to be able to share that with you, bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. So why is it important to set your schedule, right? Again, if you're not ready to succeed, you're ready to fail. If you're failing to plan, you're planning to fail. If you don't have a schedule, you're basically not giving your goals and dreams the opportunity to be executed and achieved, right? That's what the planning, that's why the planning part of it is important. The scheduling part is a different beast, right? Now you're talking about how much time are these goals and dreams are going to take, these different tasks that needs to be completed to be able to produce the results that you want, or at the level that you want, or the capacity that you want. So I think scheduling is, why scheduling is so important is because it actually gives the space and the freedom and the flexibility to come into reality. That's what scheduling really is. And sadly, I haven't been scheduling for a long time. I'm really still trying to learn about scheduling. Honestly, I don't know much about, I know a lot about scheduling, but I don't know a lot about effective and efficient scheduling. I don't know a lot about productive scheduling. So maybe by sharing the how with you, a little bit, a couple of insights will come about. But if you don't schedule something, you're basically you're not giving your goals and dreams an opportunity to become your reality. Subhanallah, that's very, very powerful. You're not giving the opportunity for your goals and dreams to become a reality. So whatever you have to schedule it, right? And that's the reason why it's so important. Now, when you're connecting it to the context of Ramadan, like a lot of the painful problems and challenges that we're having is because we're not scheduling our goals and dreams properly, and our needs and wants and our to-dos properly. You know what I mean? Like, obviously some of the things that we can think about is the sleep. We notice how when Ramadan comes, our sleeping pattern shrinks. And we're walking like zombies sometimes, and you know what I mean? Like, there's negative effects that could come from that if you don't get adequate sleep. You know what I mean? Drowsy driving, the accidents, and everything else that you can think about. So it's really, really important to schedule these things out, plan it out, and make sure that you have a set time for certain things in certain places in certain ways, with your Creator, with yourself, with your family and relatives, with your employers, leaders, co-workers, clients, partners, and providers and partners. I guess in my case, everybody else might be a little bit different. Or with your ummah and world. In any of those 5 areas of your life, you really have to schedule these times of what's needed and wanted, and how we could properly achieve these goals and dreams, bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. So obviously these are the reasons that I can think about, right? Making sure that you get adequate sleep for Ramadan, and you're energized, and you have all the stuff that you need to be able to make Ramadan the best Ramadan possible that's coming up, bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. So the other part of it is, we know the reason, I want you to think about your reasons. I'll give you a few seconds. Think about, why is it important for you to plan and prepare, and not only just plan and prepare, but schedule your time and take advantage of your time during the blessed month of Ramadan. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. I hope that you thought about why it's important to you specifically within that short, brief, spare time that was given. Now we know what scheduling is, right? It's basically a timetable, a complete timetable of your week, 24/7 for 7 days, of what you're going to do, how long are you going to do it, and how can they not conflict with each other, and how can you organize that to be able to have an organized life, bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. And we know why, right? Because if you don't schedule time for your goals and dreams, you're basically killing your goals and dreams before it even has an opportunity to grow, let alone to its full fruition. It takes a lot of hard work, so scheduling is a part of that, bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. So now we're going to get into the how, right? So how do you schedule, right? So obviously you have to be ready, right? Meaning you have a plan and you've prepared for the most part. So you have a set of planning and preparing. That's always the first component of scheduling, because if you don't have a plan that you're looking to prepare for, and you're looking to schedule and execute, you don't have anything to do, right? So then the second thing is, you look at your schedule, okay? So you have something to schedule, so you always have to have something to schedule. Then the next thing would be is to at least, okay, I'm trying to think this through a little bit. So you have your plan, right, of what you want to achieve. Now you have to know how long will it take. So in each part of your plan, you have to do a min and max. That's the basics of it, right? So now you already have a plan, right? Then you look at the min and max. What's the shortest amount of time I can complete this, and what's the longest time it'll take me to complete this? And once you write that down, your min and max, then you should already have your schedule planned, right? And you're putting in the basic things like salah, work, and sleep, right? So salah, work, and sleep. Or sleep, no, salah, yeah, we'll just keep it at that for right now. So at the very least, you have a schedule that already has blocked time. So let's say, what's the min and max for sleeping? Let's say 5 to 8 hours for me. That's the min and max. And we're going to average that out to about 6, I believe. Yeah, so it is 6. So averaging out to about 6. Work, 8 to 10 hours. And if you're, anybody who's building a business or anything like that, or an organization or a dream, obviously there's a lot more to that. And especially if you're in transition. And salah, I've kind of said it's about 3 to 4 hours throughout the day. I'm talking about from A to Z, like driving to the masjid and everything else in between. So those are the basic pillars that you should have on that. And I think I remember a story about how to, maximize your life, about the professor who showed the jar of glass. And then he told the people, how can we best fit that? And then just to kind of summarize it, they basically did it out of order, where they put this and then they had a lot of stuff left over that they couldn't fit into their life. And then he showed them how to properly do it. He basically put in, the big rocks, which are, your salah, your work, and sleep, and family, and everything else, right? I'm going to put that on the side. So family, making sure that you're spending quality time with your family and ummah in the world. So that's generalities for right now. And then you put in your pebbles, right? So I think it was the rocks, the pebbles, the sand, and water, I'll say. So the rocks, he put it in, everything was still, it filled it up to the top. Now he had the pebbles, he put the pebbles within that. And then he put in so rocks, pebbles, sand, water. So you have to know what your rocks are, you have to know what your pebbles are, you have to know what your sand is, and you have to know what your water is, or your tea, let's say tea. Yeah, we'll keep it at tea. So your rocks is the heavy stuff in your life, right? The main things. So you put that in there. The next thing the next thing would be your pebbles, the less important things that you still need to do in your life. And then the sand is everything else that you could fit within, around, in and around that. And then the tea is, you know what I mean? So you put the pebble, put the sand, put the rocks, put the pebble, put the sand, and then put the tea on top of that jar. So everything was able to be was able to fit in that, right? But if you do that out of order, what happens is it doesn't work out. You get frustrated, things seem imbalanced and everything. It is because you haven't put your rocks in first, you haven't put your pebbles in, your sand, and your tea. And I think, just to kind of summarize what the professor was telling them, the reason why I'm just changing up from water to tea and things like that, he was using it as a beer. And obviously as Muslims, that's not an example for us, because we're prohibited from drinking any level of any alcohol. So I'm using, you know what I mean, different things. So just to say, I'm going to use his story to kind of just put it in the Islamic context. So the rocks is your salah, right? Your ibadah, your learning your deen, and your connection and relationship with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Your connection and relationship with yourself, right? Your health and fitness, and everything else that you can imagine. And your relationship with your relationship with your family and relatives, right? And I think work falls under the rocks, because it's a big part of life, right? You really have to figure out how to prioritize your work as well. But maybe I'm overstepping the criteria, but this is probably the way I'm thinking about it. And then the pebbles are right, the extra quality of time, not the required quality of time that you're going to be spending with your family, like the extra quality of time, right? You know, just doing other important things that are very valuable, like what? Let's see. I don't know. The pebbles. What are the other small things that? I think the other stuff would be like community service, right? This is the ummah and world. Just doing community service. You know what I mean? Obviously, if your work is community service, then that's a whole different ballgame. You're winning on 2 levels. But if you don't have that capacity, just do something that's community service. Like adventure and fun is a part of it, right? You really have to find time for that and everything else. And I probably have to define this a little bit more for myself. But nonetheless, it's an amazing concept, right? I am using the Ridwanullah TV shows to learn and grow myself. So I'm not claiming to know it all or be an expert or guru. I'm just learning as I'm growing, and I'm learning as I'm teaching and growing, and I'm learning, and yeah, you get my point. So the sand is everything else, right? Catching a conversation here and there, like doing something that you've always wanted to do. That, you know what I mean? It's not a rock or a pebble, but it's just kind of been floating out there, being spontaneous, even more so, and just living your just amazing things, traveling and all these other things that you know, are not the basic stuff that you would normally do every single day, unless, again, that's a part of your work. So then the tea is, when he poured it in, he says, you'll always find time for your brother or sister, right, to drink some tea. There's always time for that. So you leave that last because you can always squeeze a tea here and there, or coffee here and there, or water or juice or whatever else you like, right? You can always squeeze some time here and there, 30 minutes, an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours sometimes. Whatever capacity that you guys have, you can always squeeze in time here and there. So I think it's really, really intriguing to me and really, really important for me to figure out what my rocks are, what my pebbles are, what my sands are, and what my tea is. Obviously, the tea we already know is the time that we make for our friends of spontaneously, and family and friends spontaneously. So I'm going to take the homework to actually look into that. But how can we relate that to Ramadan, right? When you're scheduling. So in terms of the how, you know what you want, you already have a plan, right? And you're going to look at each plan, how long it's, each task, how long it's going to take min and max. And then you're going to have your schedule, right? Then you start putting in your rocks, then you start putting in your pebbles, then you start putting in your sand, and then you pour in your tea, coffee, or water, whatever else you like to drink. That is permissible. Again, permissible, inshallah, for those who are not in the permissible realm in what they drink. It's important to kind of get back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala before you. It's important for you to return back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala before you are returned back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So, the 3-step process is you take your plan, is number one. This is how you schedule. You take your plan and you do min and max on each task, right? It's going to take me minimally this time and maximally that time. And then what you do next is you get your schedule and you fill your schedule with those things based on the rocks, the pebbles, the sand, and the tea, right? So that is the 3-step process that I just came up with, that I actually use personally. And I really didn't realize it like this. So it's important for you to take it as it is at face value. If it makes sense to you and it works for you, falillah alhamd. If it doesn't make sense to you, adjust and adapt it, add something to it, take something away from it. But for me, those 3 things, work for me. So, look at your plan, add the min and max, and fill your container of life, which is your weekly schedule. Bi-idhnillahi ta'ala, and drop it one at a time. So those are the 3 steps. Once again, for me as a reminder, and I'm gonna, put some accountability measures in place to be able to actually do that on a regular basis. And obviously it's not going to be pretty in the beginning, but once I have my actual planner, I'll be able to execute that at a higher level, bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. So now what is the scheduling process look like for our Ramadan, bi-idhnillahi ta'ala? So you have to create a plan. As if you haven't watched the previous episode, I suggest that you go back to that, watch that, and then watch this. This will make sense because it is a series of at least four videos that we're going to be doing based on Ramadan, and maybe we're going to recap it, so forth and so on, at the end of it, and maybe talk about the Ridwanullah, the 6 days of Shawwal, bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. So what does that mean? What does that mean for us in Ramadan? If you're not ready to succeed, you're ready to fail, right? So you really have to have a plan and make sure you're prepared as much as you can. Then you look at that and you look at from min and max, how long do I expect these things to take, right? And then last but not least, you take each element and you keep filling your weekly schedule with that. And maybe you could do it weeks at a time, but that's something that you're going to be repeating on a weekly basis, bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. So specifically in terms of Ramadan, obviously without fasting is not Ramadan. So a part of your rocks is fasting, right? Making sure that you fast. Some people think Ramadan is, anyway, I'll just keep that to myself. But you have to fast if you're capable, if you're able. Some people are capable and are able and capable, and they still don't fast. That's a painful reality for you. You have to, bi-idhnillahi ta'ala, improve in that area and make sure that you continue to work towards that, bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. Fast, at the very least, that's part of your rock. Another part of your rock is your taraweeh, right? Making sure you're praying your taraweeh, your tahajjud. That's another huge rock. What else? Your Quran is another rock. Your sleep is another rock. Your work is another rock, or scheduling around that. So that's really heavy duty stuff. Time with family is another rock, really, really important. You know what I mean? Contributing to the masjid. You know, that might fall under the pebbles, because those are the basic rocks, and then the pebbles is contributing to the masjid, doing extra good deeds, giving sadaqah, doing extra work, putting in your, you know what I mean? Like doing all of that. And then the sand is going above and beyond, right? Just, you know what I mean? Being spontaneous, giving more, being a blessing to the community rather than a curse in yourself and your family and everything else that you could imagine. And just slowly but surely working towards that, bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. And then the tea, obviously you can't have it during the day of Ramadan, but at night, after you finish your taraweeh, after you've done your reading, after you've eaten your food, and you find 5-10 minutes, 30 minutes max, right? That you just sip some tea with some family and friends, right? And just relax and enjoy and teach each other about some good memories and everything else that you could imagine. And that's what it's really about, right? That's what we really have to do. You know what I mean? Obviously, getting ready for Eid, getting ready for the last 10 days of Ramadan, giving our zakat al-fitr and other zakah and the other zakah that's required. The thing that came up to my mind that a lot of people look forward to, that is unbelievably devastating, is the youth playing basketball all night during Ramadan, all night, and they sleep all day, play basketball all night and sleep all day. I stopped doing that ever since I've been married, I believe. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. And I mean, sometimes I still have the tendencies maybe once in a while to go play at night, because I know my schedule the next day is not that hectic. But to do this consistently every single day of Ramadan is ludicrous, is ridiculous, right? The time that you should be worshipping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, making dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you're shooting a ball and you're yelling at people and getting mad at people. You're getting mad at people, other people listening to music around you, women in the gym. Like, come on. That's how you're spending your Ramadan. That's your plan for Ramadan, and you wonder why you didn't have a successful Ramadan. That was part of my plan 7 to 10 years ago, right? And I can't even believe it's been that long, but I think it's been that long, or maybe 5 years ago if I'm not exaggerating. And during the whole day, when you should be active, taking advantage of the month of Ramadan and stop being a diva, you know? I hate, there was a period of time in my life, maybe like 5 to 10%, where I started to take on that diva mentality. I just need to rest and relax. I just need to rest and relax and do nothing. Ridiculous. Subhanallah. That's just ludicrous to me. Play ball all night, sleep all day, eat as much as you can, skip tarawih. That's my definition of insanity. And if that's what your plan is, ittaqillah, fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And ittaqullah, fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And that's a reminder for myself, because even at this point, I still have some tendencies to go play basketball. And I'm not saying basketball is haram and whatnot, but if that's your schedule and your plan, like, come on, man. Don't get me upset in this right now. But anyway, if it's like, scheduled maybe once a week, once every other week, and you're taking care of your business, like, that's understandable. But every day, 4 or 5 times a week, Like, come on, man. I'm literally lost for words on what to say after that. But anyway, make sure that you take care of your schedule during Ramadan. And some of these topics are honestly selfish, because these are the areas that I've been working on in my life, and these are the areas that I need to learn more about. So by teaching you what I know, I'll be able to expand my knowledge within that and keep growing. And that's the essence of the system that I'm building, to be able to do this full time, bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. So with that being said, let's kind of summarize and conclude, bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. You've seen the importance of planning and preparing, and you take your plan and you schedule that plan, right? Planning is important, but scheduling is even more important, because a plan without a schedule is still a wish and a dream, right? The execution part is where you're actually doing it. And that's where the dream really is ignited, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala starts to open doors for you. So scheduling your work is extremely important. At the very least, mentally, like, Mondays I'm going here, Tuesdays, like, just have a complete schedule of the week. And then write it down and just get tighter and tighter, because I guarantee you, the CEOs and the imams that are doing some amazing things in our community, the Islamic scholars, the imams and Islamic scholars that are doing amazing work in our communities, as well as the CEOs, are not just haphazardly going about it. I promise you that. Especially those who are in the CEO realm, they have personal assistants, full-time personal assistants, someone who does this, someone who like a whole team that helps them. So why not be that at least for yourself? And then if you can afford to hire somebody, depending on what your capacity is, then you hire somebody. There's nothing wrong with having assistants and having somebody that could help you be more productive with your time and life. So understand the reasons why you should schedule things. It's important to schedule, because if you don't have that schedule set, then you're not giving the capacity and the opportunity for your goals and dreams to become a reality. It's always going to be a goal and dream. And you go from a dreamer to a doer, like Ummi was talking about in that TEDx talk that we went to last time, alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. So those are the reasons why. Again, if you don't have a schedule, you're killing your dreams before they even have an opportunity. When you have a schedule, it's at least given an opportunity for you to then execute on those plans and keep executing to be able to get better at that. Plan, get ready, schedule, execute. Get ready, schedule, execute, reap the rewards. Celebrate. Get ready, schedule, execute, reap the rewards, celebrate and reward. Those are the system that I use on a personal basis. Get ready, schedule, execute, reap the rewards, celebrate and reward. Right? So those are the 5 elements that I see right now that I'm kind of trying to strategically systematize for me. Obviously, my celebration is my quarterly retreats, where I tend to go all in and all out for the most part. And once I get my mullah up, I'll be able to do bigger and better things through that, and hosting it for our Ridwanullah Maximizers family. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Inshallah. So how do you do it? That's primarily what it is, but just to kind of give you the basics of scheduling, it is to have a plan, to know your minimum and maximum time that you expect it to take, and you fill your container of life, which is your weekly schedule. That is your container of life. You don't have anything more or less than that. And every week you keep improving that and make it better and better. And actually, the hardest thing that I've realized is that it's easy to make a schedule, it's hard to follow it, execute on it. So you have to have strong reasons on executing on your agenda, on your schedule. And for me, I could see my schedule mentally, and as I keep moving things around and keep experimenting with different things, I feel like it's working out a lot. Like the thing that is working out for me amazingly is I record all of my month content for the most part in a day or two on Sundays between Fajr and Dhuhr. All that time is recording day. And I just boom, 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 back to back, back to back, back to back. Deep work is what they call it, not shallow work, where you just do a little bit and move on, do a little. You go all in and all out. Deep work is actually a book, I think by Cal Newport, and it has another great book it's called the Digital Detox or something like that. So it's important to do that, and for me, I've realized that, you know what I mean, saving that time only for recording, and then all the other times, I use, like Sundays, I like to spend all the time with my family as much as I possibly can, doing whatever I can, whenever I can, however I can, and also spending quality time. And then all Saturday I was gone. So what I did was I adjusted that. All day Saturdays primarily for work, and then some day of Sunday is primarily work, and some day of Saturday is family time, and then the rest of Sunday is family time and just kind of planning and preparing and getting ready for the week. And that's pretty much it, bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. That's what I would like to summarize and conclude on. Scheduling is very important. If you're not scheduling your goals, you're basically killing it before it even has an opportunity. But when you schedule your goals and dreams, you're actually giving them the space and the opportunity for them to become a reality, bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. I really didn't understand it like that and up until now that I'm actually presenting it to you guys and teaching you guys. So I learned from teaching, alhamdulillah rabbil alameen, and I learned separately as well. So that's pretty much it. Jazakumullahu khair, Ridwanullah family. Please press the subscribe button if you're not a part of the Ridwanullah family, so you can join, and press the notification bell so you can be the first to be able to know. If you've liked this video, please press the like button and share it with your family and friends who lack scheduling, who could learn a little bit more about scheduling and everything else that you could imagine. My challenge to you is, at the very least, look at your general schedule mentally, your mental schedule, and then your physical schedule. So if things are not working out, adjust and adapt mentally, and then put it down on paper as well, and vice versa, adjust and adapt it on paper, and then have it in your mind on, this is what I'm planning on doing, and kind of work that way, bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. At the very least, have it mentally, and at most, have an actual paper where you're actually scheduling things out, bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. And that's my challenge to you. I hope you accept that challenge. I know I have. I'm going to improve on that. And I'm going to take my life to the next level through scheduling, bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. What else? I think that's pretty much it. Once again, Jazakallahu khair to our default sponsor for the Ridwanullah TV show, which is the Ridwanullah organization, an Islamic personal professional development organization that helps our ummah through 7 pillars of processes like media, TV and media, books and speaking, teaching and seminars, teachings and trainings. What else? Coaching and consulting, community service, quarterly retreats, as well as annual conference that are all coming up in the future, as well as other ideas that could possibly be the most amazing thing that could happen for us in the future, bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. Any announcements or updates? Let me just take a sip of water real quick. Bismillah. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Announcements and updates. Make sure that you continuously pray for the individuals within our ummah and world. Times are getting very, very hectic, was the announcements and updates. Make sure that we keep that aligned, bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. And the other thing is, I'm working on my completely maximize your life book. bi'idhnillahi ta'ala, that I'm slowly but surely planning and preparing and outlining to be able to put that into reality. I would love your encouragement, your love and support, and checking on me on that. And I'm focusing on my speaking career, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. If you have any speaking engagements for me, I would love to spread the message of our deen, as well as completely maximizing our lives for dunya wal akhirah, and any other area that you can think about. And you guys can see the complete details through my monthly goals report on Ridwanullah TV, monthly goals report. So just keep that in mind, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. If you have an event through a business or an organization and you would love for me to come speak at your event, please send your request, budget, and details to Ridwanullahorganization@gmail.com. Again, that's Ridwanullahorganization@gmail.com. And if you just want me to come and present a seminar or any other teaching and training on completely maximizing your life, I'll be more than happy to come to your vicinity, to come to your area in your part of the world, to be able to deliver this seminar or any other trainings, customized trainings that you would request from me. Please send your request, budget, and details to Ridwanullahorganization@gmail.com as well. So it's a 3-part area that I'm focused on right now, and the more that I do it, the more I'll be opening more things and building the Ridwanullah team. So by you helping me, it's helping you help me help you help others, bi'idhnillah ta'ala, and help build our ummah. So I'd really appreciate that, bi'idhnillah ta'ala. And I think that's pretty much it. I really enjoy doing the Ridwanullah TV shows, vlogs, monthly goals reports, upcoming talks, and question and answers, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. So that's pretty much it. Jazakumullahu khair, Ridwanullah family. Don't forget to subscribe, press the notification bell to join the Ridwanullah family. Don't forget to press the like button if you actually like this video. And if you didn't like this video, please press the dislike button twice, and that'll be a fair deal. I hope somebody caught that. And that was actually pretty cool. Anyway. All right. And if you know someone, if you benefited from this scheduling show, the Ridwanullah show about scheduling, especially during Ramadan and the rest of your life, then please share it with somebody else that can learn from this. That'll help us grow our Ridwanullah organization and our ummah, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. And that would be really appreciated. What else? That's it. Jazakumullahu khair, Ridwanullah Maximizers family, for tuning in to another episode of Ridwanullah TV show. I'm your host and maximizer, Hussein Mohamud, checking out by saying, never give up. Again, never give up. One more time. Never give up on completely maximizing your life within the boundaries, rules, and regulations of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in this dunya and in the akhirah by the grace, will, and for the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.